Hi there, I just wanted to introduce you to a friend of mine who basically I started MMA with. Of course, my background's wrestling, and I went into the grappling competition, met Marcus Suarez, started training with Denis Kang. So we've been on a long journey. Most people know Denis Kang because he's had 50 pro MMA fights. Two of the notorious fights in my mind are actually Suloev, when he choked him out, when he knocked out Ninja in about, 30 seconds. That's Shogun Rua's brother from Brazil. He knocked him out in 30 seconds. And then Bisping was a big name fight in Manchester, England, where in my eyes, Denis was dominating him. But in MMA, this is why we love the sport. Anything can happen. I've not only been a training partner of Denis's for years, I've looked up to him. And I'm trying to take his lead into getting into the UFC. I have no ambitions to keep fighting in the smaller organizations for too long because I'm not a spring chicken. So here's Denis Kang.
Hi, everyone.
How do you know Dave?
I first met Dave, I think it was probably in the late 90s. I first saw him at a tournament. I saw him going up against someone. It was the open weight division. That means anybody from any weight goes in. And I saw him go up against someone much bigger than him. And I thought, man, who's this little guy that's kicking this bigger guy's ass? And, it was in fact Dave. Second time I met him, he came in to train with us, with Marcus Suarez. We were practicing jiu-jitsu. And so, yeah, I'm thinking, okay, that's the guy that I saw at the tournament. I'm sure he's pretty tough. We started training, and I'm just dominating everybody, and this guy's giving me trouble. He's very stubborn, and I got a little frustrated with him because, like I said, I was used to dominating everybody, and I put him in a choke. I'm thinking, okay, I got it for sure. He wouldn't tap. The guy was very resilient and stubborn, and it ended up with me putting his tooth through his lip because of that choke.
Through my cheek.
Through his cheek. Okay, yeah, lip, cheek.
Right here. So what I did, I went like this. Denis was like, oh, Scholten, man, your face, there's blood all over. And it's dripping out of my cheek. So I went like this to Denis. I'm like, no big deal, Denis. It's only a little hole. So I have a bit of a crooked tooth here. And his arm was here, so I wouldn't tap. So basically, Denis saw the blood, and then that was it. But it was an interesting, we had some great rules earlier in the day, and back in the day, should I say. And a lot of fun, and we learned a lot from each other. And Denis has taught me a lot of techniques along with Marcus.
Do you think Dave has what it takes to make the UFC?
I absolutely believe Dave has what it takes to make it to the UFC. He not only does he have a great wrestling pedigree, being national champ, but he's also very athletic, and he's very dedicated into learning all facets of mixed martial arts, being the jiu-jitsu to the striking and boxing. So I think that with the dedication and resilience that he has, his way is paved for him to go to the UFC.
At 44 years old, is it possible to compete against younger, hungrier, world-class athletes?
Yeah, I see him as being 44 years young. I mean, yes, he is 44 and he is going to be older than a lot of athletes, but that age is also a lot of experience. I mean, he's been involved in MMA for a long time. He's been wrestling for a long time. So that's going to go a long ways. He's going to have the maturity that a lot of fighters will be lacking being younger fighters. And like I mentioned earlier, he still has the athleticism to match a lot of the younger fighters.
How would you describe Dave in 2 words?
Resilient and resourceful.